Welcome, everybody, to Let's Talk, the Todd Worsham Show. Well, again, I'm late, but I got double folded this week. Not only was I late because of the airplane that I've been working on just got extended to get it out of the hangar, but that's whatever. But the other reason is because the show I made actually got taken off of YouTube, and I got to read this. We think, not know, but think, your content didn't follow our medical misinformation policy. Content that poses a serious risk of erroneous harm by spreading medical misinformation about currently administered vaccines that are approved, and confirmed to be safe and effective by local health authorities, and of course, who else? The World Health Organization, isn't allowed on YouTube. How this impacts you. This is just a warning, and your channel isn't affected. However, we remove the content from YouTube. What to do next? Review your content and the policy. After you review, you can take our training to remove the warning or appeal if you think we got it wrong. I appealed it, but they came back with a final no. Okay, how we find violations. We use a combination of automated systems and human reviews to detect violations of our community guidelines. Okay, well, so the title of my show was Big Pharma and Food. So I guess I really need to watch what I title my shows on, and I'll keep away from those key words that I'm sure that the computer's picking up right away, because probably right when it saw Big Pharma, I'm sure I got flagged right then and there, or one of my 11 subscribers might have reported me. So, and I don't really know who that would be, but either way, it doesn't really matter. It happened. So it's time to move on. So I'm going to kind of go over what I was talking about. And I don't know what's going to happen on this one, but well, first of all, I'm going to title it something different. So we'll see how that works. And then I'm going to give you some content that I would highly recommend that you go online yourself and check it out. It's NCI, National Citizens Inquiry. It's a Canadian company, and it's a company that's looking into certain, let's see, how can I say this? It's a company that's looking into certain circumstances by big certain companies that had given us misinformation. So I highly recommend you go on to, I believe it's, here, I'll look it up right now while I'm on here. So it's nationalcitizeninquiry.ca. Highly recommend you go on here. This is a Canadian company. And there's a lot of good videos on here. And I went on their website, I checked it all out, and I did notice that they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. But on YouTube, there's only like 4 or maybe 6 or something like that. But it's not very many. So that tells you right there that we are being our free speech is at risk here, because this is citizens coming up front and giving factual statements about their personal experiences. So this isn't secondhand information. This is the horse coming up to the trough and speaking. So what these people are telling you are things that physically occurred. that they were there. They were witness. They were part of the situation. So I'd have to say that's probably not misinformation. I would have to say it's factual. It would be factual in a court of law. So I don't understand how I did. I think the way that I did misinformation is I usually quote a website because I usually do research and check stuff out before I flap my jaw too much. And last week I didn't do due diligence, and I apologize for that. But the information was correct, but unfortunately you won't be able to see it because I don't know how to get it back on there, and I haven't created a website for my videos yet, which I'm in process of doing, but I haven't done it yet. But when I do, they will be on there. I will post all this stuff on my website. And anyway, it was really good information about the vaccines. Actually, it was good information about the finished product of the vaccine after people have passed away. And there's a particular embalmer, and actually, I'm not sure if she was in Canada or not, but probably because it's a Canadian website or Canadian institute. So her name was Laura Jeffries or Jeffrey, and you can look her up on that website. She has all kinds of videos on there, and it's not just her. I mean, when I opened up this website, it just took you to a whole wow. There's a lot of information that is not being processed and given to citizens of Canada or America. And I'm so sick and tired of being my voice being cut out, not being able to speak because this is America. We do have a First Amendment right. And I do understand that YouTube is a private company, and I get that. But I can go on YouTube and I can pull up hundreds, if not thousands of videos that I can tell you for a fact. I can do research in 3 minutes and tell you that it's complete misinformation, completely. All of it. And of course, that doesn't get tagged and that doesn't get taken down because, as we all know, it leans to a certain way, certain chain of thought. And this is basically the first step down the road of tyranny, is controlling your thoughts and controlling what you can say and what you can speak and what you can hear. And bad road to go down. So anyway, I'm not going to touch any more on that. Other than that, it's called National Citizens Inquirer and .com or .ca. I'm sorry, probably for Canada. And I highly recommend you go on that website and you look up your own things, because obviously I don't want my show to get shut down, even though I'm not, big or popular or anything right now. I just don't need the headache of doing all that. So for right now, I'll be a good little sheeple and I'll bow down to the devil for now. And I'll come up with other ways to get information out by giving you websites that you can go to. And then as soon as I get my website up and running, I will have all this stuff on there. I'll have the links and I'll have some videos and stuff like that, so you can do your own, make up your own mind, because we are free here. And let you make up your own decisions on that. So anyway, so her name was, this particular video was Laura Jeffrey. And she's an embalmer. She was an embalmer for 27 years. And I'm not gonna say anything more than that, because you just have to watch it for yourself, because it'll blow you away. And then not only that, but I have found other content on YouTube that's probably way worse than mine was. So I'm not sure why I got flagged, and I'm not really sure. I'm more than sure it's because of the title. I titled my show Big Pharma, so that was probably not a smart thing to do. And I just got a lesson. Not going to do that again. So anyway, look that up. A very interesting content. I think that you will learn a lot. You will be appalled. You will probably be disgusted and probably very angry. And you should be. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, that's why I started this show. And unfortunately, I'm in a part of my life right now where I really can't expand things right this minute. But things are ironing out and things are going to get better. And when they do, I promise I will expand things out and I will start giving as much information out as I can on all these subjects. So, anyway, so with that said, let's get on with the show. And I really don't know. Really didn't have anything to say today except actually I said everything I wanted to say on my show, but it got deleted. Oh, fuck. So the other part of my show was talking about food, and they didn't seem to bother about that. So I guess I'll continue with that. So I don't know if anybody has been watching RFK videos on X because hell, I don't. You know what? I haven't even YouTube those. I don't even know if he's on. He's probably not on YouTube. I'm sure if I got flagged for my video because I mean, give me a break. I got 11 freaking sorry, I have 11 beautiful followers, and I'm not really a voice to anybody, to anywhere, to anything. I'm just basically a voice for myself. Trying to get this information out. But anyway, I'm not big enough to really to make any difference or to do anything. I understand that. It's all part of the process of growing, and I'm not giving this up. I'm going to continue this, and hopefully one day my voice will be louder, and I can help. I can help the people. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so our foods. RFK has been coming out and talking about our soil, our foods, our vitamins and minerals that are in the foods and all this kind of stuff. And whether I agree with him on other issues or not is irrelevant because he's dead spot on this. And God, I hope I don't get in trouble for this now. I have done research that has shown that the rising CO2 levels of the planet have actually helped the planet grow. The foliage on the planet has grown pretty much in sequence or within, I can't think right now. It's like, okay, so the CO2 level goes up here and the foliage level on the planet has actually risen past that because this is basic stuff that you learn in probably junior high or high school or something like that. But we all know that plants they ingest CO2. And what is their byproduct? Oxygen. So, and I've been saying this for years and years and years. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. So basically, the planet absorbs all the CO2 and the plants suck it all up and then they produce oxygen. Well, I also learned that this process actually helps fertilize our land. So with the CO2 levels going up, it actually isn't damaging our planet. It's actually helping it. And this is proven scientifically. I mean, you can research yourself. I apologize. I don't have any websites for you to go onto right this moment. So I hope that's not considered misinformation, but don't believe me, but it's true. The problem with our food is one problem only: humans. We need to quit genetically modifying our food. When we do this, we're taking out all the nutritional values out of our foods. So I don't care how much broccoli you eat. I don't care how much asparagus, garlic, turmeric, whatever you're eating. If you're getting it from a corporate farm, you're probably getting a product with no nutritional value, none, zero. And I'm sure you guys have heard of the barcodes, the 3 barcode, the 4 barcode, the 9, the 7, the 5. I'm not going to get into that because I haven't done research in that, so I can't confirm nor deny what that means, but I'm sure you guys have all heard of that. So, and I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but one number is I want to say it's a 9. I think I don't know. I shouldn't even say numbers because I don't know. But one of the numbers is organically grown, and the best way to even to assure that you're getting organically grown food is to probably go to a farmer's market or go to someplace like Trader Joe's or Sprouts or something like that that only does local food or only does organically grown food. Okay, so that's your vegetables and your fruits and stuff like that. So let's get into meats. Um, I watched a program the other day where they took, I think, and a major brand hamburger, and it was before it was cooked, and they took the meat into a lab and they broke it down. They did DNA tests on it. Well, they found over I think it was over 1,800 different DNAs in one patty. So what does that mean? That means that that one hamburger patty came from 1,800 different individual cows. Now, I don't know about you, and I really don't know because, like I said, I haven't dug into this yet. But that just doesn't sound healthy. It doesn't sound right. Um, I think it's kind of strange. So I like again, I'm not going to go one way or the other on this because, like I said, I haven't dwelled into the research on that greatly. So, but to me, it just doesn't sound right. So I stay away from. Well, I've been staying away from it anyways, but even more so. But I do get a hankering for the Big M every once in a while, and I can't resist myself because I love filet of fish sandwiches, and I don't care what they're made out of. Sometimes I just have that craving. So I surpass it, but it's like every maybe twice a year or something like that. So it's not enough to affect me. I don't think so. Here it. So eggs. I'm going to tell you what I experienced with eggs. Um, I make deviled eggs all the time. It's one of the things I do well, and everybody loves them, so I make them all the time. Anyway, so last time I went to the grocery store, they didn't have my cage-free, grain-fed eggs, brown eggs. I love brown eggs. Whether they taste better or different, I don't really know. To me, they do, and it could be psychological. Not sure, but to me, the brown eggs have a deeper yolk, a deeper color of a yolk, and to me, if whether you scramble them or eat them over easy or however you eat them, in my mind, they just seem to taste better. And again, it could be psychological. I really don't know, but I do buy the cage free. Um, in the I'm just brain farting today. I do buy the cage free and grain fed eggs. So last week when I went to, or no, it was the week before when I went grocery shopping, they didn't have those, so I had to buy the cheap brand eggs, the white eggs, but they were the cheap brand. So I put them in my steamer like I normally do, steamed them, made the deviled eggs, and I usually leave the water in because I have like a steamer, and the water heats up from the bottom and comes up, and and the steam rises and it cooks the eggs, and then it goes down into this tray. Well, I usually just take the water from the tray because it's hard. They're eggs; they got a shell on them. It's not like I'm cooking vegetables. So I usually just take the water and I just pour it back down into the lower section, and I don't think nothing of it. Well, after cooking those cheap eggs, I just was it yesterday or it was Saturday, Sunday. I went to go cook my eggs, so I lifted the basket off, grabbed the little catch tray thing, and I was going to dump it into back into the lower unit, right? Well, when I took off the upper tray, the catch tray was filled with this like yellow mold. I had never seen anything. I should have taken pictures of it. I had never seen anything like it. It was like really nasty looking, and the whole tray was just loaded with it. So I had to, obviously I had to take apart my steamer and, clean it all out with soap and water and get rid of all the whatever that stuff was. I'd never seen it before. So I went back to my regular eggs. Not a problem. So I don't know what that is. I'm not making any accusations. I'm not doing any conspiracy things or anything. I'm just telling you what I experienced, and I have no idea what it is, but it's still tripping me out because it just, for me, it just adds more ammunition to my thoughts of how our food is just grossly bad for us and either like forcing us to ingest bad things. So I don't know, but that's my experience with it. And I was so happy they had my eggs this time because I don't want to see yellow mold in my steamer anymore because I do cook vegetables in there. But when I do cook my vegetables, I do clean it because I like to capture the juice from the vegetables because a lot of times when you steam vegetables, a lot of the vitamins and minerals they go out of the vegetable and they go into the water. So that's why I try to eat my vegetables natural, not cooked. But yeah, and of course, I do take supplements and stuff like that, which I think I've said on other shows. I think I recommended Balance of Nature, and I think right now I'm taking Amino 150, which seems to be really good. I have pretty good energy with it. My immune system seems to be pretty strong. And the other thing too is I eat a lot of fruit: lemons, limes, oranges, pears, grapes, watermelon. I love fruit. It's I was raised on fruit, so to me, fruit is a candy bar. If I want something sweet, I usually go get go get something like that. Or if I got a real sweet tooth, of course, I go get chocolate because there's no substitute for chocolate. Chocolate's like the best. But so anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about that, about me getting my show getting kicked off. I mean, I just can't believe they would do that to little old me because I really have not expanded yet, which is on me. I haven't taken the steps yet to expand myself yet, so it doesn't happen on its own. You have to get out there and you have to do it. Let's see, what's the old saying? You only get out of things what you put into them. Well, right now, because of other situations that's going on in my life, I am not putting as much effort into my podcasting right now as I'd like to. Again, that will change when I'm ready. And plus, I'm also getting a bunch of episodes behind me, which I think is important before I go public or before I break out and spread myself all over social media. So before I do that, I would like to have at least a year's worth of shows behind my belt, so people can look back and see other shows and see all that kind of stuff. So that's my own personal preference. It's something that I'm intentionally doing. So I don't apologize for it because I'm doing it. I'm doing it intentionally. I'm not ready to break out and do all that kind of stuff. But at any rate, our food, bad, bad, bad. And I can't stress enough, eating the right foods can and will cure a lot of stuff going on in your body. And I want to be careful about what I'm saying because I think this ties into why my channel was taken off, but there are foods that actually eat cancer. And I'm just telling you this. And there's a drug that does it too that you can go buy at Tractor Supply. It starts with an I, ends with an N. And they use it for horses. And you can orally take it. And it has been proven for 40 years by scientists and doctors to rid cancer. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Go down to Tractor Supply and ask them for the horse stuff, and they'll know what you're talking about. And I highly suggest you take like a toothpaste, just take a little bit, put it underneath your tongue. I would say at least once a week or maybe at least a couple times a month. And that will really help build up your immune system. It'll keep you extremely healthy. It will keep you from going into autoimmune. which is really good because once your body goes into that, you kind of start getting all other kinds of issues, which you don't want. And it all boils down to food. Again, I think I stated in the beginning of this video, RFK. I highly recommend. I don't support everything that he says or whatever. Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't. But I know for a fact from my own personal experiences that he's 100% correct on the food. And God willing, Trump gets into office and he's elected to DHS. We can see some major changes in the government, and hopefully get rid of that what I don't know what they call it, the food tree or the meal tree or whatever the government came out and it's all freaking carbs, which I don't know. I don't want to get into all that right now, but eating healthy is the trick to being healthy. Period. There's no other solution more than eating correct foods. And it's really easy. You can go on YouTube. There's thousands of videos, dietitian videos and homeopathic videos and holistic videos and all those things that will give you menus or give you recipes for foods that you can go to your Sprouts or your Trader Joe's or whatever and pick up your fresh vegetables and fruits. And you can rid your body of all kinds of parasites, all kinds of ailments. And I don't want to use the C word, but you can even if you're eating the right foods and your body's in the correct balance, pH balance, you're never going to get the C. Ever. I'm telling you. The epidemic that's going around today, in my opinion, from all my research that I've done and the research that all these doctors and scientists have done, it all goes back to one and one thing only. What you ingest. What foods are you putting in your mouth? Regulates everything in your body. And I think I talked about this a few weeks ago, but it also goes back to frequencies. Everything in the universe has a frequency. Your liver, your stomach, your prostate, your colon, and foods have the same thing. They have frequencies They actually have. I think they have multiple frequencies based on color and other stuff. But at any rate, so if you think about everything in a frequency, it becomes a lot easier to understand your body because your body has all these frequencies. So if you're putting in the right foods, it feeds these frequencies and strengthens these frequencies and keeps them strong. If you start eating garbage and GMO and all this genetically modified organisms, it is going to mess with the frequencies because they don't have like an apple that's GMO and an apple that comes from God, different frequencies, because God made the correct frequency for your body. Bill Gates didn't. I'm just using that. I'm not saying he did it, but whatever. I mean, whoever genetically modified the watermelon to not have seeds in it. I'm not thinking about that. Do you really think that's healthy for you? I don't know. A lot of people think, well, that's kind of cool. It doesn't have seeds in it. Well, maybe there's a reason God put seeds in there. Maybe it affects the way that fruit absorbs vitamins and minerals. Have you thought about that? If the fruit doesn't have seeds in it, is it going to absorb the same amount of minerals from the ground to produce those seeds and to make those seeds healthy so that plant can reproduce? I know nobody ever thinks about all this kind of stuff, but I do. I ponder this stuff about food all the time, and it makes me think, well, when they genetically modify it, what are they doing? Okay, they took the seeds out. No big deal. I don't know that. I haven't seen any scientific proof one way or the other. I personally would have to say that like producing a watermelon doesn't have seeds, I would just tend to think that you've altered the natural process of that fruit. So what does that mean? Does it make the sugar the correct way? Is it the correct kind of sugar? Is it a sugar that your body can process? And what about all the vitamins and minerals? Like what? The reason why I choose watermelon is because a lot of you probably don't know this, but watermelon is really loaded with a lot of good stuff. And on top of that is really good. It's one of my favorite fruit. It's one of my favorites. I love watermelon, and I've been eating it all this time, and until I got into this spiritual and the road that I'm on, I never knew that watermelon was like it's like a superfood. It really is, but no one puts it up on the pedestal and no one brings it forth, and I don't know why because it has so many good things in it for you, and I try to make sure I get the ones that aren't genetically modified. I try to get the natural stuff. So, and unfortunately, one thing that frustrates me is when I first moved here to Arizona, there were farmers markets everywhere. I mean, they were all over the place. And anybody that's been here for a long time, and it's probably where you're at too. I don't know, wherever you're from, but you have noticed that all your farms are disappearing. So you have to scratch your head and say, well, if our population is growing and the farms are shrinking, where's all the food coming from? It's being processed. Now, there was a scientist that came on CNN. One scientist came on CNN to bash RFK, saying that he was full of crap. One scientist, one. So, I mean, I don't know what to do about this. I haven't figured out a way to. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. What I can say is, in today's technology, it's very easy to grow your own little farm today in a very little space. They have, I don't know if everybody's seen them, but they have the towers, and you can do like all your strawberries and your bell peppers and your hot peppers and strawberries and whatnot. You can do all these in those tubes. And then as far as like growing like broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and potatoes and radishes and beets, you want beets, eat lots of beets. Garlic, green onions are so easy to grow and they're really good and they're good for you. On the other hand, I don't know really how to grow turmeric or ginger. Never really tried to grow that. But anyway, my point being is you don't need that big of a thing, that much of a property to maintain your own family. You can do it quite simply in your backyard, and I recommend people to do that, to set up a little farmer's market in your backyard for your family and start eating the foods that you grow. And I think you're going to find a difference in your body. In fact, I know you will. When you get off all this GMO crap and you start getting back to God's food, your body will immediately, I mean immediately, love you for it. And you're going to get more energy. You're going to get the brain fog gone. You're going to be more productive. You're going to be happier. You're going to be physically more fit. Your relationships will be better at work, at home. Your whole body will just function as advertised, all by changing food. And I can say this because I know this because I have experimented personally on myself with it. I have changed up foods and done things, and I can tell you right now, it's a huge difference. Like right now, I just started making up some of these recipes off of Reels and off of YouTube for one of them says, one of the ones I'm doing right now is a citric. It's lemon, limes, cinnamon, and cloves. And you boil it and then you use it as a tea. And you take it twice a day. and it helps your whole digestive system. And then the other one I'm doing right now is beets, tamarack, ginger, garlic, cucumber, celery, carrots, blackberries, blueberries, banana, and honey. And that one is really good because a lot of those vegetables in there have well, some of those vegetables in there have beets. I think are sweet. I don't know. That's just me. But I never realized how spicy ginger was. I always thought ginger was like a sweet root, but it's not. It's a spicy root, and I love spicy food. So you drink this nice, like purple, this dark smoothie, and it has a bite to it, but then the honey kind of overlaps that, so it's kind of like a sweet spicy. So it's really good. And again, you only need like 4 ounces in the morning, 4 ounces at night, especially at night on an empty stomach. So um, another recommendation that I tell people from my experiences, what I've learned is to eat dinner early. Instead of eating at 7 or 8 o'clock, eat a little bit earlier, and then take one of these tinctures at night before you go to bed. And you'll find that you'll sleep better. You'll wake up with more energy. I've only been doing this for a few days, and I can tell you right now, my energy level has just skyrocketed, and my thought process seems bigger and wider, and the brain fog is kind of lifting away, and I can actually feel it. So I can't wait to go for a little bit longer and see what happens. But I don't think these are things that you want to do every single day, 365 days a year. I think this is something that you want to kind of go on and off of a little bit, and give your body the replenishment, kind of back off it a little bit. And so like maybe a week on, week off, a couple weeks on, a couple weeks off, so your body doesn't get completely dependent or used to things. And that's another thing that nobody talks about is when you change things in your diet and you change the way you eat, your body gets comfortable with those things. So it redistributes chemicals and redistributes things in your body that changes it to counteract or to move what you've eaten around through your body. So it's really good to keep your body off balance. Not your body off balance, but it's good to keep your eating off balance, so that way your body doesn't get stuck in a rut and it keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Because you want every part of your body to do its job, so you want to exercise it. You want to exercise all your endocrines and all your hormones and all that stuff. And the only way you can do that is by changing foods up and not eating the same thing consistently all the time, because then your body's going to get used to it and it's going to stay with that processing that way. Unless you're eating healthy all the time, then you're okay. But most people don't. In today's world, it's almost impossible to do that. So, at any rate, I hope I don't get kicked off in this show. Really be kind of disappointed because, like I said, I'm really just like a nobody right now, and I just can't believe I got flagged. I think I know why. The title of my show was Big Pharma and Food. And I was talking about the embalming issues that embalmers were having after the vaccine came out. And highly recommend that you go on nationalcitizeninquiry.ca. Do it for yourself. Don't listen to me. Go there, see what you see, and make your own decision. But I'm telling you, you're going to be appalled and you're going to be sickened. And on that note, I'm going to throw in a little bit of politics, I guess. The state of Kansas has just filed a lawsuit against Pfizer. Oh, and YouTube, that's not misinformation. That's factual. Okay. They did file a lawsuit, and I believe there's like 3 or 4 other states that are going to follow that. And you can go on the Kansas .gov website, and you can actually look up the letter that they're sending for the suit. I want to say it's like 66 pages, something like that. And it breaks down all the regulations and everything that Pfizer broke. And I'm not going to get into that because I'm just not going to. But I suggest you can go on there and look at that too, and you can read the 66 page, which I have not done. I'm more of a visual person, so I like to watch things on YouTube or watch things on videos from websites that film these things. And then if something spurts me, then I go on the websites and I do deeper and deeper research. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So pick your information wisely. Do it with common sense. If something doesn't make sense, it's probably not right. So go with your heart, not your emotions and not your feelings. Your heart, because your heart will always lead you to the right place. Always. It will always lead you to where you need to be. There's no exceptions. Never. It's your emotions that screw you up. And I know this from personal experience. So. Anyway, everybody have a great night. Have a great day. Thank you for joining in. And we'll see you next Thursday. All right. Thank you, people.